Hello everyone, welcome back. So today we are doing our 500 subscriber special, and I just want to say a huge thank you to everyone, and it's been amazing. So thought I'd show us all the size of it, and we're just doing an A4 today, but we'll try and draw a little bit quicker than usual because I tend to doodle too much. But with that, I've got my Little Miss Chatterbox cup with some tea, even though it's really hot in here and I've had to close the door because the next door neighbour is doing some strimming, so I'm already sweating. But with that, thank you everyone, and I hope you enjoy this video. All right, bye. Right, so as you may or may not know, we had a little poll to how we're going to celebrate the 500 subscribers, and what won was a dragon in a library reading a book. So I did about 5 million different versions of this, and this is what I've come up with in the end, which I think is really cool, and it's a little bit different than what I originally planned. It was going to be, it was always going to be a huge dragon sort of interacting with the world and you know, the library and just thousands and thousands of books and all this. But I had a friend actually that pointed out that this has been done a million times, and we kind of talked about the fact that it's really hard to find something sort of original. So with that, I thought it'd be nice to draw a little dragon going about his day in the library. So I haven't quite figured out what the little storyline behind that is, but what I was sketching a lot of, and even though I don't really enjoy too much drawing wood, you know, like anything like taverns or tables or things like that, I always kind of struggle. I thought I'd do somewhat of a circular staircase, and I thought that'd be quite a cool way to go about it. And yeah, so I went from circular staircase to little dragon doing his thing. So yeah, we've got a little bit of a comic book style today to do. So I just thought it'd be a bit different and a bit of fun really. But like I said in the little introduction, I'm gonna do as quick as I can really, because I don't want hours and hours of video. I just want something that can, you know, quickly celebrate a huge milestone of the channel, which, I mean, I must admit I didn't expect 500 subscribers anytime soon. At the end of the day, it's just some dude chatting nonsense while having a little doodle. So again, to everyone that supports the channel, or is just a friend of the channel, or, you know, just if this is your first time here, welcome, and hope you enjoy the little sketchy madness, which will no doubt be the entire video. Yeah, I did think about inking it like fully and doing lots of shading, kind of like we've done with Margot, the vampire character, on the channel already, but I didn't think I had enough time really, because I feel like that would just take hours, and I didn't want to take hours and hours. I wanted to have something, you know, quick and fun, and, you know, plus I think some people have said before that they like, you know, sort of speed drawing kind of essence to the channel. So I know that I normally naturally draw quite slow, but you know, when I'm sketching, sort of planning out stuff, I can draw quite quick. Well, I think I can. So maybe I can kind of do both today. So, but you know, it always helps with the little plan already planned out. Oh, like a natural wordsmith. Plan I've already planned out. Dear me. So, hope everyone's having a nice day, and hope you got your cuppa. I've got my Little Miss Chatterbox cup here, which is incredibly cute. Let me just move this around a little bit, and hopefully we'll get to the little dragons soon, because the little dragon's really cute actually, and I'm looking forward to drawing them. Alright, that's looking alright so far. Oh, I do think it needs shading because it's a library, isn't it? It's like, should be dark and magical and lots of nooks and crannies where, you know, interesting books lay hidden. Went to Hay-on-Wye, which is in the UK, a few years ago, and there was, I think it has more bookshops than anywhere else in the world. Correct me if I'm wrong on that one, but I went to this one little bookshop, and it was just like a little piece of magic. There was just books everywhere, and it's just chaotic, but found some really old, weird books there, and you know, some of the books I even looked online to see if, you know, if anyone else had read them, but it looked like no one had. It was just really, really interesting to find out there is little bits of magic hidden in these bookshops. So if anyone has heard of Hay-on-Wye and you haven't been and you're a big fan of books, definitely go. It's well worth it. I think so anyway. So yeah, here's our little dragon. He's got little spectacles. I don't know if you can see it very well, but we'll draw them later as well. In a little bit slightly bigger pose. Right, here we are. Yeah. Oh no, that noisy magpie knew I was going to do a drawing today and he's back. Yes, yes. So if you can hear this noisy little blighter, I apologise. But I must admit I quite like the sound of magpies. I think they're quite cute. He's very loud. He knows I'm drawing. Does it every time. Yes, yes. And unfortunately today, no pigeon. He's quite grumpy today actually. Doesn't even want to come out of his little den today. He just wants to chill out in there. But then again, it's quite hot, so we got a little fan near him and keeping him nice and cool and trying to keep him happy. I'm hoping to have a nice release of him one day once he's built up and excuse me, once he's ready to fly the coop, as it were. Yeah, nice little chap he is. But hopefully soon. Nice. Don't worry, there will be a slightly more detailed version, I think. Yeah, a little bit down there, yeah. Of this naughty little dragon. He's reading books and getting into mischief, no doubt. It's been so long since I've drawn a dragon. Yeah, cool. I think that'll be okay. Nice. And right, so what this dragon's doing is, so I've got this lovely old book, and he's trying to get it to the edge of this little sort of stairway banister, so we can sort of knock it off and read it, because you know it's a bit claustrophobic at the top of the banister bit. So that's his plan. Yeah. And do one of those little wiggly tongue things that you find on books. Like that. Do some nice little spikes. That's cool. And then, so his tail, which I completely drew backwards, but that's fine. I like the shape of this more anyway than what I sketched. He's got a little spiky tail. The little scales. Have the book up here. Cool. I don't know what to do on the book itself. Maybe it doesn't need anything. I'll just draw some, you know, It sort of has a little box there, so you can imagine it's probably volume 6 or 14, Living with Dragons. You know, maybe that's what he wants to learn about. Though he is a dragon, so that'd be redundant. Maybe he wants, yeah, maybe he's got a new dragon friend, and maybe he doesn't know how to chill out with a dragon. That'd be weird. Right, and then as we're coming down, he's successfully thrown this book off. So we have to draw lots of pages now. Yeah, so I just want to take a bit more time to say thank you to everyone. 500 subscribers. It's incredible. 500 people listen to me ramble and do my little drawings, which is a lovely feeling. So yeah, thank you everyone. Yeah, sort of made my week. I mean, not sort of, it absolutely has made my week. And I just want to say thank you. Right, okay, so lots of pages. We need to do a few more there. I'll come back to that in a second. And then we've got the little tongue popping out again of the book. Nice. And yeah, if anyone's wondering, I've done a little bit of comic book work in the past. That was terrible. Not too much, just a few front covers, and I've talked about in the past doing my own little comic a few years ago of sort of the board game idea. Yeah, I just haven't done any sort of comic book or that sort of stuff for a long time, so I thought it'd be cool to do some today. So it might be a bit of a change, a nice one at that. Plus, when you're drawing comic books, there's a lot of the planning stage, which is the really fun part. You have to kind of figure out how the frames and the boxing and sort of the look of the whole overall thing looks. And yeah, it's lots of attempts. So I'm not too sure how many attempts I did, but it was a few. It was a fair few, actually. So this little dragon's got his little spectacles, and he sort of realised that he's pushed the book down, so it's going to fly down. Yeah. I'm drawing lots of little horns. Yeah, even the idea of the dragon changed dramatically multiple times, because I couldn't quite figure out what sort of dragon I wanted to do. But I think this is quite a cute one, Yeah, and sort of have his little claw there, and his other little claw there, ready to fly down. There we go. Cool. Little nostrils. And lots of little scales everywhere. Alright, cool. It's gonna have lots of spikes, I think, because I like spikes. I think they look good. And sort of almost the underside of his neck, which kind of turns into the back. Some little scales. And then we're going to have to start framing this. There we go. So yeah, if anyone's triggered about drawings coming out of the frame, look away, because that's exactly how I draw. Very sketchy, Definitely does not need to be perfect. I think the less perfect, the better with frames like this. Might have to go over that actually with a bit of, let's do that now real quick actually. We can frame it better. So yeah, I haven't done any comic book work for a while, so I really hope I haven't kind of lost the touch too much, because it's a completely different way of drawing. Nice. Yeah. Story goes, little dragon wanted to read a book, found his perfect book at the top of this little staircase and thought, oh, I want to read that. Got no room up here. Give it a little kick. Get down and give it a nice read. You know, in hindsight, it probably would have been better to look in advance for a thicker pen instead of doing this, because this one's already running out. But that's fine, isn't it? Sometimes it's quite nice just to have this sort of stuff to break up the image itself. You know, like I said, nice and scratchy, nice and messy, and not worry too much. Far more enjoyable to draw like that, I find. Yeah. Right, do not place hand on wet ink, please, man. Please, 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 please. Don't do it. Yeah. Cool. I also did a bit of a trial comic once for Image Comics. I wasn't successful, sadly, but I did all that by hand, and that was, I think it was like 7-8 pages of this comic book idea I had years ago. But the rest of the comics I've done since then has always been digital, because it's just a much easier medium to use for, you know, corrections and editing, and, you know, getting sort of shading just right. Because I don't know about you, when I'm drawing, I have to go back on myself a few times, because, you know, I'll look at it a day later, whatever I thought was good, and then I think, oh no, it's crap. And then vice versa. Sometimes I'd be like, oh, it just doesn't look very good, and then, you know, I go back a day later and be like, oh, I like that. So I think digital comics sort of helps with that sort of, you know, concern sort of stuff. Oh, what am I on about? Anyway, so there's the book. I have to kind of think about what is actually in the book itself. I don't really know. I suppose the only one that does know is the dragon. I don't think he would tell me. And we'll do some, you know, sort of scriptures and, you know, symbols, and, you know, I suppose just to sort of give it more of a sense of, you know, this life to this book, and, you know, some squiggly wigglies would be fine. Yeah. I like to pretend that I'm incredibly intelligent and this is actually dwarven, you know, or elven, but it's not. Just drawing really bad signatures. Alright, some more there, and we'll do some this bit. Cool. Lovely jubbly. Right, we're getting there. So the next frame, we won't go over the top of the candle because I like the look of that one. So I've got the little sound effects. There we go. And the idea for the frames kind of looking like this is because they kind of look similar to the book itself falling. And I thought that was quite cool, actually, because there's a lot going on, and, you know, it is drawn quite quickly, so needed as much help as I could to sort of give the impression of what I'm looking for, to help it look visually correct. No, my chatter is not very good today. I mean, it's not particularly good any day. Cool. Yeah, nice. Very rarely do the frame before the image itself, just in case I decide halfway through, ooh, a little bit of character needs to pop up there, or there needs to be a bit more interaction with the world and the frame itself and whatever's going on. But because I've done the top one that's kind of sticking out of the image, and the bottom one has something sticking out of the image, I thought it'd be good to have that sort of, in its lane on this one. If that makes sense. Otherwise, I think it can get a little bit messy if they're all spilling out trying to, leave the frame itself. And plus, when I find, comics have that sort of sense of coming out, it always feels a bit more real for me. So yeah. So another little book. Well, it's not another little book, it is the same book. It's just, it's just opening, and so we're doing lots of pages here. And there we go. Nice. I'm going to keep this tongue all the way through the image because it just helps the movement, I think, and it gives that sense of falling. Yeah. There'll be a page here, I think, falling out. Another page here. It's kind of falling out of the book as well. Yeah, that'd be fine. I don't think we need more than that, I don't think. Do some little bits of writing on this bit. Yeah. Cool. And then our little superstar coming down here with just his glasses showing, and I guess because it's slightly more farther away from the image itself, well, from the character itself, I always think it's better to draw less is more for these sort of long shots, because if you do a really high detailed image of something condensed, I think it looks really it can look really messy for me. But I think that's probably more about my style itself. It's a little bit messy at times, so yeah, less is more for this. There we go. Oh, his tail coming into this one would be kind of cool, but no, I think that's fine. We'll do some little speed lines as well. I think with speed lines, start with a point where you want to go and just be confident and just flick your hand, it doesn't matter if some of them come off the line as well. I just think it looks really cool, and it's more fun, we do some little, the book's coming down at speed as well. Nice. Paper's not, is it? It's going to be slow. Okay, so now we've got quite a big, oh, you know what, I need a piece of paper. There we go. Oops, back on. Got a little piece of paper so I don't accidentally mess up the ink I've already done. Oh, good job, man. I can't believe I drew from right to left. This is terrible. Right, so now lots of books. Hopefully not too many books, because I don't think anyone wants to watch me draw books for 20 minutes. But that will probably end up happening, so apologies in advance. Right. Oh, it's really warm in this room, but my neighbour is still strimming, so I will keep the window shut. Cool. And then another bit of the banister coming down. I was going to draw a circular staircase at the start, but it kind of turned into this weird, wobbly, almost like ladder thing. So I wonder if there's the wheels on the bottom of it and it can be like pushed around and moved, kind of like, you know, wheelie ladder ones in old libraries. And, you know, love libraries. And libraries are such interesting places, or little bookshops. And cool. I'll do this bit as well. And cool. Yeah. 500 subscribers. That's crazy. When you think of it, you know? That's so cool. You know, I noticed the other day actually, one of the videos on the channel, and it's nil for the first one about our borrowing DPS cool character, has got nearly 1,000 views. 1,000 views. That's mental. 1,000 people watch that. Just think that's incredible. You know, especially for a little channel, I always wonder like how people actually come to find, you know, find the channel. I just don't understand how that even works. I mean, I don't understand algorithms or any of that stuff. I just like drawing and chatting. But, you know, thank you for finding my channel. And thank you to everyone that, you know, comes and has a little chat and asks questions. And even when most of the time I forget to answer these questions, I don't do it consciously, I promise. I'm just a bit forgetful. Right, where's this staircase? They're going behind? Yeah, right? No, it'd be in front. Yeah. Cool. There we go. Another little staircase bit. Hope it looks good at the end. I know I'm doing quite sketchy, but really hope it looks nice actually, because I was quite excited to draw this one. I just didn't want to draw for hours and hours and hours, because I think it's fantastic to mark the occasion, but I think if I'm going to draw for like 3 or 4 hours, I'd rather do 6 videos, you know, rather than just the one, because then I can interact more with you, find out sort of what people want to see, what people are enjoying, you know. You know, rather than just drawing one big video. Especially when it's hot like this, because I don't like stopping during the video. I like to just go for it, because otherwise I find myself kind of, yeah, kind of not getting bored of the image, but just getting tired of it, you know. I just, it's like the one sitting, because then sort of like, right, I'm all done now. And when you have something that takes a long old time, you know, it can just become a bit of almost a chore, you know. Because halfway through a drawing, I sometimes think of another idea for a drawing. I'm like, ooh, I want to draw that now. You know, so it's a bit silly, but that's how my brain works. Nice. We need to do more books, don't we? Really, because it is a library after all. We'll find some space down here, I think. Right. And this one's going to kind of curve this balanced a bit. It's kind of like warped I wonder if it's like green oak or something, and it's just sort of warping around itself. There's a place in the UK, I think it's sort of, I'm not sure if it's Ashbourne or it's Derbyshire, I think. They've got a twisted spire. So I think it's a church, and the wood that they use originally, or well, might be right with the story, I mean not, but over time the spire itself sort of warped and twisted, and you have this really cool building now with, you know, like a tower bit that is actually twisted, and it's just, it looks like something from like a Harry Potter game. So cool. So yeah, that's what I was sort of thinking. Maybe the wood here is so old, even for this banister, for this library, that maybe it's just sort of warped and twisted like that. That's where I was going with that story. That was all over the place, but yeah. And then we have another warped banister bit here as well. Doo-doo-doo. Nice. Yeah, it does look very warped, doesn't it? Nice. So we're gonna move all the way down. Oh, neighbour's got the chainsaw out now as well. Good timing as ever, my dude. There we go. Cool. We have a few more books here. Like that. Just sort of give a little bit of purchase for the candle. It's going to be an old candle that's kind of trying to illuminate as much as it can in the darkness of this library. Like so. Nice. Nice. Cool. There's some little details, some more wax coming down there. I think, yeah, looks alright. There's some little bit of kind of tacky shading down there, so the cool. There's the book. But I think that's more of a safety concern, really, isn't it? Candles on books. That's not where's the fire marshal on this one? Health and safety problem. Right, cool. Cool. And then we'll do sort of a back of a book this time. Oh, no, it won't. It's fun to see the pages, isn't it? And another little tongue from this book. Maybe another one. Someone's got lots of little places they want to revisit when they come back to the book at some point. Yeah, so I wonder whose library this is, or maybe it's not even a library, maybe it's just someone's personal collection of books, and that's kind of cool actually if that's the case. Always kind of wanted a library in a house. Don't know why. I like books, but I always get about halfway through a book and then get distracted by something. Though I did read Kings of the Wild, which, honestly, probably my favourite book. That was not long ago either. Yeah, that was a great book. It's all based in fantasy, and yeah, it's a good book. I won't say anything more to it just in case you're gonna dive in, but yeah, I thought it was quite good. Right, and then another little book from the back of it. I do like cool. Some little Roman numerals. Cool. And we carry on here. Cool. that wasn't me just being lazy then shading. It's just I didn't want too much going on that. With the banister, with another banister behind it, I think it would have looked messy. So I just thought I would shade it. Because I don't want the person viewing this for their eyes to go back and forth. Kind of want a focal point. Though I'm not very good at doing focal points ever. But you never know. I might get lucky on this one and they might have one. They might have one. There might be one. Cool. Oh wow. It drew right over the top of that book then. That was not very good, was it? Hey, hit it. No one will ever know. Unless you watch this bit of the video. And if you did, please don't tell anyone. Right. How are we doing for time? Yeah, we're doing alright. So it probably won't be 45 minutes then, probably just be slightly over. I've still got lots to do, lots to finish off. I feel like this drawing would look really good inked. I mean, I am inking it now, but I mean, sort of shaded. I don't know, maybe I will do that. Could always pause after finishing the drawing and then do that so the video's not incredibly long and then you could join me afterwards. I'll have a think about that actually. This is when I probably insert a little bit of information on the screen saying, yes he did, or no he did not. There we go. And a little bit there. Ooh, hey, look at that. I don't think I've been off camera yet today, have I? I've been off camera about 15 times and I just was not aware of it. It's probably more the case, isn't it? Yeah, I kind of get lost sometimes when I'm drawing and forget all about the idea that there's a camera. Still not very natural to me to have a camera watching. Kind of weird actually, isn't it? Though every now and again I do think about the fact that, you know, I'm just sat here talking to myself and doodling. I mean, I probably do that naturally anyway without realizing. But, just a thought. Okay, cool. Yeah, I wonder if we should do some inking on this. I think that would look really cool. But again, there's quite a lot of inking to do, and maybe I could just do it with pencil. Get a little 2B or something. You know, that'd be cool. Oh, no, good job. I am off. Yeah, well, it was bound to happen, wasn't it? Cool. Cool, it's hot in this room. A little bit of, little pearl of sweat just dripped off my head onto the table. Okay. Might need to pause and have a bit of my tea. Oh, I forgot my tea. Actually, I might go get some water as well. Because it's warm. Yeah, let me just do this one little step and then I'll be happy. Right, so 2 seconds. Welcome back. Right, I don't need to do that, do I? I mean, if I pause and I can just come back, it won't look any difference. But yeah, welcome back. Apologies, I feel like I'm more, well, all over the place today. I've had a few coffees, so maybe I'm a little bit tweaked on coffees. That's okay. Hopefully I'm not chatting too much rubbish. Not that I don't do that every time. It just comes very natural. Right. And there's the end of the banister. Nice. Put a few little bits here, a little bit of shine. Nice. Yeah, just try and add a bit of texture so it kind of looks like it's, you ever see like a drawing or something, you just kind of want to touch it to see if it feels like how it looks. I love that stuff. That's so cool. I don't really do it that often because I'm not particularly good at conveying that sort of stuff like textures, but every now and again I do, and I just think that's quite cool. Right, are we doing this? Right, okay. This is the last frame of the image. We'll do it nice and a little bit messy. We like messy. Messy's good. Am I still on frame? Hey. Nice. Yeah. This is going okay actually, but I do wonder if we need a little bit more. I wonder if like a little bit of shading, or I wonder if the whole image needs excuse me. I wonder if the whole image needs a frame around it. Like kind of cutting through here, all behind and down. That would look really nice as well. Maybe we will do that, but I might do that off camera, and I wonder if this all needs to be outlined a little bit more. Have a think. Well, have a think. This is when I feel like we should do live videos. So you can be like, yes, or absolutely not. Yeah? Sorry, all my pencils are next to me. I keep bumping them. Yeah, so maybe we should do a live video sometime. Would that be something that, I don't know, I'm not even sure if I would join a live video, for someone drawing. I feel like I'm worried about putting them off, but I don't know. I mean, if that's something that you would like to happen in the future, please let me know, because we can do that, I think. Yeah, I've seen the little live button. Sure we can. Okay, so we're on the last frame, which is pretty cool. And we're almost going to be the time I said, which is pretty amazing. I say that, I'll be at another 40 minutes now, because I find something that distracts me and I start drawing, I don't know, frogs. Oh, we forgot a little frog. We need to draw a little frog, don't we? I mean, it wouldn't be the same otherwise. Okay, so start drawing the book. We'll draw a really nice detailed book because this is sort of the final frame. Nice pages and like lots of rips and nice little bits of detail. I imagine all these little scratches on the pages because dragons use these books, and they've got lots of sharp claws, haven't they? Sharp little claws and teeth and spikes everywhere. I'll do one page that's kind of gone off on its own tangent there, and then a little fold there, someone's reading a bit, another one. This will be an ancient book, I think, and maybe it's a little bit of magic. I never really thought about that, but dragons sometimes have magics and stories, don't they? What if they have to read it, or is it just innate? Never thought of it. What do you reckon? I think they have to read all the books just like, wizards would do and witches. Not sure. Do another little fold. Yeah, I would have thought so, right? So maybe that's what this little dragon's doing. He's just reading or learn about spells and magic and that wonderful stuff. Nice. Okay. Lots of pages. Nice. I don't think we need to do any more. That's kind of how it's like. The book's kind of like resting on the floor now. You'll see what I mean in a minute. Cool. Oh, that was a long time drawing little pages, wasn't it? Right, okay. So then we have, is it my stone frame? Oh yeah, cool. I'll do this lovely tail full of spikes all the way through here. I might do it so the spikes sort of twist to the other side. There we go. Do some little creases of his skin. Like so, a few little scales, a few little spikes, and we are on track, I think. Yeah, nice. Oh, I should have had the tail coming out of the frame. Oh, that's fine though. Forgot what I was doing then for a second. Which is normal for me. Nice. And then, so the spikes kind of wrap around this side then. And, well, that was a bit straight, that was, but that's okay, we'll make do. And sort of a nice spiky end bit of the tail. Like that. Nice. Cool. That's quite cute. Yeah, it should have been off the frame here, because the rest of the body is fine. It'll be fine. And then we'll I always forget to like sort of, I'm doing the 100 special, the 200 special, 300 special. I completely missed the 400 special. Just went too quick, which is amazing. I always forget to actually write, notify the fact that, we've achieved the 500 or 200 subscribers. So today I have not forgotten. I did completely forget for the first like 5 or 6 attempts, and then I was like, oh yeah, I need to do something about the fact that we've done it. I was going to fill it in as well, but I think it will look so dark in comparison to the rest of the image. We won't do that. And then we're going to do his spectacles. He's got little glasses on. I'm just wondering how to do that now, because he'll be facing the other way, wouldn't he? So maybe if we do, so I'm going to make it up as we go along. And yeah, I think that kind of technically works, because he's got his little eye there. And we'll do some little spikes, make him a handsome little dragon. Sorry, my hand's in the way. It's holding down the paper so it doesn't go all over the place. And then we'll do some nice little horns. We can actually do some proper details now because we're a little bit closer than we were earlier. So yeah, I just thought it'd be cute to have a little mini dragon instead of a big hulking dragon. Yeah, it's actually turned out quite nicely as well, which is a nice change. Sometimes I worry I've drawn something, I'm like, oh, it's really crap. Right? But this is not what the channel's about, and I have to keep reminding myself it's not about getting it perfect or right every time. It's about having fun. And I feel like no matter what you've drawn, if you've had fun doing it, then that's a success. More so than if you haven't enjoyed something and you've drawn something aesthetically, unbelievable and beautiful. But if you haven't enjoyed it, I feel it's kind of like a waste, I think so anyway. Alright, I'll do his wing. That's the bottom of his wing, and then a little bit of shading. And then this other little wing, and a few little spikes interacting with that. Nice. Sort of also creases, skin, a dragon skin. Nice like that. Cute. I hope that's, yeah, the camera's fine, okay. I was just double checking. And then sort of drawn this hand wrong, so I'll just do that properly this time. You sort of holding the paper down, having a little look at what's in the book. lots of little scales. Nice. That's quite cute. You know, I kept redrawing his face because I couldn't quite figure out what I wanted for a dragon face, but I think so. I'll just keep it almost basic. I think that's sometimes better. He's got his little tongue sticking out. You know, kind of looks like he's just licking the paper, which is fine, I suppose. Subscribers. So I've had to move the letter in a little bit as well. I forgot to talk then, sorry. I have to move the letters a little bit because they were a little bit bunched up, and I thought, no, it'd be nicer to have them a little bit more neat also on the page. Even though saying that, I've just gone exactly where I was before. Interesting. That page kind of coming off there. And then this page coming right off the frame, just like that. And then the second page doing the same thing. And we'll just keep a bit more uniform here. So yeah, that was fun actually. And as I'm finishing up, just want to say again a huge thank you to everyone that subscribed and you know, just got in touch with the channel, had good chats, and these people that just want to have a little one-time watch. You know, everyone, thank you so much. 500 subscribers. You know, if you say that word enough times, it kind of loses all weird meaning. What is that called when you say a word too many times and it kind of doesn't sound right anymore? Do you know what I mean? Do a little, that's the little tongue from the book from earlier. And do some of these sort of crease marks. Yeah. Do some little lines. Little scratchy bit. Nice. Cool. We got the light coming in from the window as well. Hopefully that doesn't make it too messy. Well, I mean the light to make, you know, make the lighting messy, not the ink. I know what I meant. It's fine. Cool. Right. I think we're just about done. That looks alright. Right, let me pause and then we'll zoom out and we'll have a look. Alright, 2 secs. And there we have it. Our finished 500 subscriber special. So once again, thank you everyone that's come about and watched our videos and just commented or just been a friend of the channel, really. Makes a huge difference. Don't know what my hands are doing. So we're just doing our own thing today. Anyway, you all have a great day and thank you again. Take care. Bye-bye.